Good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing out there? This is Ian and Julie, the moderator, and Julie Rose coming to you again this wonderful Tuesday evening. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Julie, how are you this evening?
Hey, we're all right. We're here. We made it live.
Made it to Tuesday.
Or wherever you're at.
How's your hard 75 going?
Oh my God. So today I did like another power yoga 1-2. And they're
Yep.
doing like crunches and they're like lunge with the crunch. And I worked 9 hours today on my feet straight on my job. So I'm like, and I went for a walk and I shouldn't even have gone tonight, but I did it. And I'm getting stronger. We're getting stronger.
Hey, that's all we can hope for, right? Good. Good morning, Damien. How are you?
Morning.
There we go. Just firing out a little bit of love for everybody. So, for those of you who don't follow our personal pages, we went on a little bit of an adventure this weekend.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about the misstep in the beginning and how it was all
It was funny because I was trying to get you guys to go to the second place the whole time, but
yeah. So I actually don't remember the name of the first one, but we spent the day legging it around Rhode Island. And so Fort Witherall is a place that Julie brought us out to, which, if you haven't had the chance, is absolutely phenomenal.
Beautiful place.
Yeah, Julie, if you don't mind, I'm going to whip together a little something so we can show the folks some of the things that we saw real quick, and the area that we were in. Just a little bit of the history of that location.
Yeah, I actually made a whole video before doing a voiceover video of that location as well. I should have sent it to you. But
Oh, no. Oh, well, Damien, I hope things get better, bud. Sorry.
No,
You were saying, Julie?
Oh no, this was my third time going there, but the last time I went there, I did a whole video of it, and I did a voiceover telling the history, and we caught an EVP that was wild. It was crazy. But the last time,
that's one thing that you do that I think is really cool that not a lot of people really talk about, or that I've heard doing, is you'll go just like in the middle of the day with equipment to different locations like nature walks, nature preserves, paths, old forts, things like that typically aren't on people's radar for paranormal investigations, and you kind of dive into that, which I think is really, really cool.
yeah, because I feel like spirits aren't confined to one place, and there's probably spirits that are in places that we have no idea, and they're attached to different things as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I mean, for you, what was the big draw there for you, right? Like, because you said you had you third time there, second time you went. What were some of the things that you had kind of experienced there?
Oh man, yeah. The second time we were there, it was me and my friend Stephanie, and we walked around and we did some EVP, and we mostly do a lot of work of like just spiritual feeling with our bodies and our psychic abilities. And she has an older EVP machine, and I have like a slightly newer one, so which is like 10 years old. But and we were down in the tunnel, like it's not a tunnel. So what it is like underneath the fort. And before it used to be like you could go in and out, but they blocked it all with so it feels like a tunnel. So you feel like it, but there's no light, there's no other exits or anything. I went in, I looked around, made sure no one was down there. I could send you the video so you can see it. But yeah, I was like, oh, is anybody there? Any spirits here, this, that, and the other. And I'm recording on my phone. Oh, there's us. We look a little wild. And then also, then, she's recording on her, and this is the middle of the day during the week in the spring. So like people are in work, kids are in school. Nobody was there. Hi, Kim. And then we didn't hear anybody, nothing. We go home, we're in the car, and we review the recording, and it says in a man's voice, "Go outside," clear as day. It was crazy because I felt like the spirits were like interested in us because it's mostly men were at that fort,
Yeah.
And then I could see everything, the whole chat.
Oh yeah. Little beautiful little area there. I was
Yeah,
trying to jump through the photos here, but they
I
weren't
wanna
shipping.
try to send you that video right now, and it's unbelievable, and, well, yeah, now it's just for me and there's also tons of veins of quartz there. Here it is, perfect, I got it, and, when you see the quartz, it's definitely a huge amplifier, and it's also along the side of the ocean.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It doesn't even I mean, it really does look more like West Coast of Europe than it does US.
Yeah,
It's
100%. I'm just sending you the other video, so maybe you could just play the EVP or something. It's kind of a
yeah, I can
crazy
throw it up.
it's kind of a crazy long video. Not that long, it's like 5 minutes long, but, yeah, and, so ever since then, I was like, "We gotta go, we gotta get back there," like, it's just so good, and I'm glad we all got to go. We had a good crew with us, everybody's, like, so unique in their own energy, and Nicole's awesome, she brought our equipment, and she had, like, a spirit box, and it said a few words. It was interesting because it only came through in one area.
Yeah, we did get that weird EVP, off this Kimberly. She wants Chipotle tonight.
Yeah! I didn't get it today. Not today. I had Taco Bell, which I don't think is good for my 75 heart, but, yeah, that was a good day, and there's just so many things there. I'm surprised that it's open to the public because it's very deteriorating a lot of the pieces of the fort, but
Yeah.
it's such a historical place, and, in the video I sent you too, I talk about the history and how there used to be another fort that was built there before Fort Witherell, which is fascinating because they just built it right on top of it. I don't know if you received them, but I sent them to you.
Yeah, I got both videos. Which one has the EVP in it?
Oh, let me see. I can fast forward this. Oh, you can hear me talking. Okay. So it's the first one. A little bit of a paranormal investigation. Yeah,
Okay.
first one. Yeah, they have the end of the first one,
All right. And
and
Damien, are
it's
you seeing Icy in the chat? Because I
probably
actually
second
don't
one
see her.
at the stairwell, where the only way you could get in. So yeah, there's definitely some. Yeah. Anyways, it's a good one, and yeah, every time you go to an adventure there, it's very interesting. I mean, just even besides the fort, when you walk down near the water, it's spectacular. You feel like you're in another
Yeah, I
country or
see.
something with the water and the views. If you have a really cool camera, you can like look on the other side and see the giant mansions that look like hotels, which are
Oh, they're gorgeous. They're wild, but they're gorgeous.
oh, yeah, about the 4 young women, I think they found it was it the '70s or '80s or something like that? They
Yeah.
supposedly found their bodies near the docks around there. It wasn't actually inside the fort, but it was very close by. It was just kinda sad. But I also feel like, people go there and especially young kids maybe doing weird ceremonies, which isn't cool. No, we don't want that. But I didn't feel anything evil there. I felt like there was a lot of, just old soldiers doing their rounds, doing their thing.
Yeah, I got absolutely nothing negative out of
Oh,
there whatsoever.
it's a very interesting place, and,
No, Damien, that actually is the old fort. So nothing's really built on top of it. This is just the remains of one of the coastal forts. Yeah.
and
Sorry,
it's
Julie.
no, don't worry about it. It's, like, one of the biggest ones around that I've seen, besides, like, Fort Adams. It's a different kind of fort. Fort Adams is, like, huge. I got to go in there on a photography workshop, and we got to go into, like, the restricted areas, which was really neat.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, they show, like, where there was a bowling alley, like, where they used to, I'll send you a picture of it, and it's so cool how they have all that stuff there and that you can still go. There was a lot of energy there. I wanted to do an investigation. I kinda was, like, walking off in the corner, like, "Anybody there?" But I couldn't bring my equipment because it was a photography workshop.
Yep.
But, let me see if I can send that to you too. That place, I highly recommend, going there for a photography workshop or even just their regular tours. You might not be able to see the restricted areas, but I'll send you that one. But there's a lot that you can see that's really interesting there. You can go into the officers' quarters, the tunnels. There's the tunnels that they used to go and listen to like the bombs or like underground if they were or digging in.
Yep.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Entrenching.
Yeah. And it was scary. They're like, don't go any further because there's no oxygen down here. I'm like, yep, I'm turning around. I'm good.
You're not going to be able to breathe. Yeah,
Yeah.
Damien, it's that was just a raw exploration. Honestly, we had a couple of pieces of equipment with us. Nicole was actually awesome to carry her backpack the entire time. Um, she pretty much was the only one that brought anything outside of, basic cameras and stuff like that. Um, yeah, we were pretty, I don't want to call it lazy.
Well, we were more
But
on the adventure side and we were just feeling it out for
yeah.
sure. And we went some other places. We went antiquing, and the antique place was amazing. I was like, I want to do a paranormal investigation here. All
Oh,
this
that place was wild. The antique by the coast. I mean, that was, 30, 40,000 square feet of just
huge.
old stuff. Hey Denise, thanks for hopping on. Um, oh, Denise, fun fact, I have a very embarrassing video of Kimberly that I just converted from VHS to digital that I got to share with you here. I got to give you the flash drive on it. It's a little over 2 hours. We found an old VHS while cleaning out the house the other day, so
I love those. See, that's why you
I had
gotta
to go.
tape now, because 20 years from now, this is gonna be old. This is gonna be old school.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny
Like,
as we found like an old stack of CDs and DVDs from probably the, I don't know, 2004 or five time frame,
yeah,
and we found an old video of me on like the local news in North Carolina,
that's so
uh, because iPods and MP3 players had just launched, and I was
funny.
working at Circuit City at the time, and I was the like MP3 player guy for the store. And so they came in to like interview me on the new technology and what it means and how that was all going to interplay. It was pretty interesting to just see like what we thought and like what I thought specifically, 20 odd years ago, of where technology was going to go. I would
That's
have picked up a Panasonic D60 if I knew. I would have. Uh, but so Julie, out of your experience there, like what was from our recent trip, right? I have a couple of favorite moments that I think are really cool, just from a history perspective and things like that. We did have one little zone where we had a little bit of activity on the I can't remember what is that piece of equipment called. Do you remember?
I think it was like an ovulus or something. It wasn't an ovulus. It was similar. It was where they had the words print that come up
Yeah,
like
yeah,
and that's funny because I feel like that's one of the hottest that's one of the hottest clubs. Club Fort Worth.
yeah.
No, I'm just playing. No, the hottest spots in the whole place because the first time I ever went there, me and my boyfriend, we experienced weird energy right where that was happening as well. But I really like going underground in the pitch darkness where you're like where
Yeah, those the underground parts of that facility are wild that it's still accessible, right? Like the fact they built this going on 200 years ago, because it was 1890, right?
I believe so. I haven't.
We're talking 130 years, 140 year,
Oh yeah,
140-year-old structure, and a lot of it's concrete, right? And it's not like stone buildup or anything like that. Um, yeah, I mean it absolutely being down in basement of those, yeah, your senses are heightened, yeah, because
yeah.
you're paying attention to so much more. And that other group that was there at the same time as us that crawled through the little drain
Airways?
galleys.
Were they like airways? I felt like they were like,
It
what
was
were
either for air or sewer. It was one or the other. Um,
they were doing it? We weren't. I was like, you do it for us. We appreciate
that's I
you.
mean that's a young man's game right there. That's for the younger folks to really to get in there and dig through all the shit and kind of climb through those rocks and see those old tunnels. But my favorite spot was absolutely the center building the rear room that really does seem like that was more of like, because you had said that there was like prisoners, like prisoner detainment there, right?
Yeah, that's what they said, that they used it. I don't believe they actually saw a battle there with that specific fort. I'm not sure about the fort before that.
Okay.
But, they did keep prisoners of war there. They did a lot of training there. But I also feel like I wanna see where it was before, because there was other buildings that they tore down to put the mansions, and I'm surprised that's still
Well, yeah.
standing. I'm surprised it is. But it's historic,
Um,
and they don't keep up with it like they do Fort Adams. I mean, obviously, Fort Adams is a different design, I guess. I don't know, I
was
wish
that
I
the
knew.
first one we went to?
No, Fort Adams is literally when you cross the bridge where we were near there, it's right over there. Like, it's huge. I just sent you pictures of it when I was at the other one, but, they still do stuff there. I think they have, like, weddings or reenactments. It's the one, and it's similar to the one we saw, the first one, that little, like, we couldn't get in, but,
Yeah.
like, 100 times bigger, and that you could buy tickets and go inside of it.
Well, and admittedly, you're a bit of more of an urbex person
Yeah, me.
than Kim and I.
But you know what? I'm rubbing off on ya. In a good way.
Well, like I said, one of us can be urbex on an
Well,
excursion.
nothing
Both of us at
crazy.
the same time can't.
Nothing too
Um, but so out of your kind of journeys, because you do a lot of adventuring, right? Like you do a lot of exploration in New England, and I joke about it all the time that like every time I log into Facebook, like
mhm.
I'm seeing this new adventure from you. Which like I joke about it only out of jealousy.
Uh,
Because it seems like you're always finding like new cool places and stuff like that. What's your favorite in New England so far? Like what's kind of like the go-to that like you've you've
I
got
mean,
either
that one we
gotten
went
the
to is
most.
my favorite.
Yeah.
That one, and then, oh my gosh, I can't even remember the name of it. It's similar to Belchertown. It's not there. It's in, well, but it's actually still a functioning place. There's people, like, living there, and there's, like, a college there, but there's buildings that they're just sitting there. And you can't go in the buildings, but you can look in the window. You can see.
Okay. You can creep.
Yeah, and, the guy, there was a security guy. He was very nice, but he was like, "Yeah, you can't really take pictures of people because it makes them feel bad." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I made a video and I didn't put the name of the place, because out of respect or whatever. But the
Oh
history,
yeah.
I have that video too. That video was cool. Like there's like still swings, like, and you go in and then look in the window. There's like an old Apple computer. I'm gonna send you those pictures too. That is kind of near Fort Fernando. I can't talk. It's been a long day for me.
Fort
Yeah,
Fernaldo.
for Fernando, no, you know what I'm talking about. The other place you can't go into, but I haven't been there.
That's a fact, Damien. Absolutely, that's a fact. Never too old to climb a tree.
Yeah, but there's just like a lot of cool places. Actually, I'm gonna send you a picture right now if I
I
can.
am, however, too old to climb through a porthole in the middle of an old decrepit fort. I will not be doing that. Um,
Yeah, here, I'm gonna send this picture to you so you know what I'm talking about. It's like real creepy and weird. So like this is what you see when you look inside the window and you're like, "Oh, okay." Like this is the type of stuff. Yeah, check those two pictures out. That's in the window. So like imagine what the rest of the building looks like. It's just energies, but when you go there, you don't need to be inside buildings. You don't need to break an entry or trespass. You can literally just be somewhere publicly. It's a public space. Oh, that's Fort Adams. That's Fort Adams. But our last two are the other it's kind of a school for feeble-minded children.
okay.
It's actually really sad being on the grounds, like, you could feel the energy. You can be there publicly. I can't remember the name of it, but, like, you know,
Jojo.
it was just interesting to see that inside, like, there's just a lot of history there. But, you go in with respect and you go in and that's Fort Adams, the other
This
one.
one?
Yeah, those ones are Fort Adams, amazing photography workshop. We were in there taking beautiful photos. I definitely felt like a lot of old energy there. Like that was the not the officers' quarters, the opposite of the officers' quarters. The crew. And there's me in the bowling alley. That's the bowling alley that they had
Oh,
there.
that's wild.
Yeah. Oh, I look nice and tan in that picture.
Yeah, you do. Nice summertime photos.
Fading away now. Um, but it's cool because you can find these things legally through workshops and through, historical societies. That's what I'm really loving to research right now, different places that are open. Just like, well, how we have obviously the Huffstar Hall's not falling apart like that, but
Yeah. It
finding
was though. No, I mean it was. You
yeah.
look at that, you look at the hall 5, 6 years ago, and it really was. I mean, since we've come in, we've been able to assist with the replacing of the ceilings on
Mhm.
both the first and second floor. Um, I give Matt a ton of credit. He spent about 2 weeks every spare moment cleaning up the attic. Yeah, I mean, it was bad up there.
Yeah, and it's like places like that that get revamped and cleaned up and kept because there's so much history. And, I really breaks my heart because when they just certain buildings are architecture and just everything just to keep one building and allow people to go in and to experience it or maybe even do a paranormal investigation. When I was younger, I used to go to Wampatuck State Park a lot.
Yep.
I actually went after a lot of the buildings were already torn down, but there was still so many left, and, I just experienced definitely paranormal activity. There's a train station inside there, and it was, like, the summertime, and no one's there, like, at all, and you could hear swishing of coats, like, "Shh, shh, shh." 'Cause think about it,
Oh,
they're in
that's cool.
winter, they're there working. But now all those buildings are gone, completely gone except one. But the park is beautiful. It's a huge place. But I'm just I could
Our
send it.
stuff loves you too, Wojo.
Yeah, but I just feel like going to places and just exploring, especially our natural wonders. We don't always have to go to a place where like 15 people were murdered or something. No, no, we don't need that. We can go somewhere where there's a blessing. Like imagine, I always wanted to do a show where like the paranormal investigators go to like the most holiest, happiest miracles. Like imagine the
Yeah.
energy, the opposite of the dark history.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
I get really excited about that because it's gonna happen one day. I hope get to
Well,
be on one of those episodes.
that's actually kind of a cool question though, like, if you think about it, like, if there is that, like, spiritual progression to the next life or to moving on or anything like that, um, I've had this conversation with a few people too. If it is all positive, right, like, and it is a place of blessing or miracle, um, are you any more likely to move on than something like that where, like, 15 people were murdered?
Yeah.
And, like, who wants to stay there? Like,
I see what you're saying, but what if
what
it's not like
consciousness would linger in that pain, you
but
know?
what if it's not like a spirit sense, like, residual energy or a spirit talking? What if it's just that energy that you can pick up on that's so immaculate, so healing? I know, I just in a different format. It would just
Yeah,
be different. It could be like all of a sudden, say we're doing an EVP and we hear the angels of voices doing a chorus. Oh, yeah. You're like, yeah.
yeah,
And all of a sudden, like we start glowing and everybody's, hey, I don't have acne anymore. I don't know. They could be something like that.
yeah,
I mean, I would have to find out. I love to do it. They have, I don't know. I probably feel like there's already shows that have done like the most holiest places and stuff. And a lot of those spiritual places are very sacred. So they probably wouldn't want like a show that does that.
yeah.
But I think it would be really cool if people investigated that side of things.
Just sneaking EVP into church.
Yeah. Or no, like, you know what I mean? Like the holy fountain of youth. wherever that
Throw
is.
throw a little REM pod over by the, holy water,
Yeah, right.
see what goes on.
Well, no, it's just I just feel like there's a lot of places in nature that are very sacred, that are beautiful, that I feel are like healing places because nature is healing to
Yeah.
us. We just don't even get enough of it. That's
Well, I
why.
think I think we're particularly, blessed in that regard up here in New England. I mean,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
so many spots of such rich history, and so much energy just that has been here for a millennia. Like you look at, I mean, we're talking about positive energy now, but you look at like the Bridgewater Triangle, which I mean, there were comments and stories and lore from the Native Americans long before we had the term Bridgewater Triangle.
We should go there.
Um, yeah, I mean,
And
well,
eventually
if only we knew a couple of guys that were familiar with that neck of the woods and already had approval to walk through a bunch of different areas. Looking at you, Wojo. Um,
yeah, you
yeah,
need
so
a crew because you don't wanna get, lost or whatever.
well, Wojo and Richie B are both in that area quite
Yeah.
frequently.
That's
They're obviously trying to find the Sam Squanch, but they're out there squatching. I don't know what it's properly called. Bigfooting, Sasquatching. I don't know.
Well, my opinion of the Bridgewater Triangle is I had a friend who lived in Middleborough, and that's, like, the borderline of it, like, not
Yeah,
it but, like, it was close to it, and when I was sitting there in the yard viewing it, I feel like the Bridgewater Triangle is like is an airport of a portal, like, all these different things coming through. There's, entities, there's, cryptids, there's spirits, it's like I call it the airport. I was like, it's the airport," 'cause, like, there's so many and they're all moving, they're all in transient because it's a portal, and it's a massive, like, energetic portal, and it's really fascinating. I wouldn't say it's evil, but there's all types of things in there, and not necessarily good for us as human beings. It could not, like they say, if you ever saw an angel, you'd probably flip out because we couldn't comprehend it.
yeah.
That's my
Well,
opinion.
and Wojo saying the triangle expands. I mean, energy expands and contracts. The universe is definitively in a state of expansion currently, so everything is expanding.
Oh, I wonder if
Uh,
you also think depending on the time of the year and, like, the astrological events as well, I wonder if it affects it more.
well, I
Probably.
mean, honestly, like if we were to talk like more extensively on the Bridgewater Triangle, I mean, I think Wojo and Richie B would definitely be a couple of
Yeah.
guys who
Yeah, no, I
absolutely.
know, but it's just cool that it's so local to us, and there's
Yeah.
other local areas as well. There's a lot of spiritual energy in Miles Standish State Forest too.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to go camping there every year to Fearing's Pond, which is a weird name for a pond, but there's this one area, it's like the public, part where you can come for the day, but
Yep.
yeah, I was using my, spirit box there. There was, like, so many spirits coming through. We went over in the pitch dark. We were like it was cool. And it's funny when you bring your spirit boxes to different places because sometimes you're like, "Oh, I don't see or feel hear anything." And then other places, it's like, "Blah, blah, blah, blah," they're all coming through.
So now where is that one? Where is that area?
Miles Standish is, down towards the Cape, like Plymouth,
Oh
Carver.
no, I'm very familiar with
Oh.
that. But the part you're talking about,
Oh, it's inside there. It's one of the places where you can go camping. It's I consider it the best camping spot in the whole place for me personally. I just have a lot of memories there. My family's been going there since before I was born, but,
which pond is it?
Fearing's Pond? Yeah, that place is just so awesome, and I just nature in general, man. It's just so much we don't know, just like the
It
ocean.
really is. I mean, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
the
imagine
ocean
doing a
is.
paranormal investigation under the sea,
I
like
love you.
underwater.
I love you.
Oh
Don't
my
you ever
goodness.
change.
This is something we
Don't
can
you ever
accomplish
change.
this summer. I'm gonna do it. I won't go
You're gonna
deep.
do it. I, I
We'll figure it out. Imagine.
we're not rich enough to make a submarine, Julie.
No, I
Like,
know, but if we could do something where, like, in the shallows of, like, a cove on the shoreline, and I had, like, a big maybe even, like, one of those water jugs, I went under, I don't know.
Oh, with a water jug?
Well, like the big ice bucket things like people have, make an air pocket and like be under. I don't know. Figure something out.
We'll figure out some physics for you here.
But that's
We'll get
I
you.
actually well, having fun with it, you know what I mean? Gonna have fun.
Yeah, a bathtub. Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean. We'll have the rowboat flipped upside down.
Yeah.
Uh,
That would be
I
crazy.
love that. No, I have quite a bit of experience with Miles Standish.
Nice.
Um,
Well, we're all probably gonna go camping there next summer because I go
I
2, 3 times in the summer.
I probably will not. I'll be honest.
Oh.
My experience there is pretty brutal,
Oh, I'm sorry.
um, and not super great.
Well, yeah.
Uh, However, it was far worse for someone else, so that's okay. Um, I am no, it's actually that was I actually I don't even care. I talk
Okay,
about it.
'cause they're probably
I was
yes.
actually no, that was a site my mother actually shot herself in the head at.
Oh my god, stop it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. It was a while ago. Uh she
Oh,
oddly made a
no.
full recovery. It's weird.
I'm so
Um
sorry. I didn't know that,
but
but
yeah, no, 13 hours she sat in the parking lot
oh, I'm so sorry.
before
Yeah.
anybody found her.
Well, there's other places
Um
too that there's a lot of, just spiritual stuff, like in New Jersey, all like there's like a lot of what is that? The Mothman, all the different areas that have a vast amount of woods. I also feel like it's just energetically with people, some people just have stronger energy, so certain houses and people who live somewhere, it might be a stronger place where their spirit would reside.
yeah,
Right? That makes sense.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, New Jersey Devil, West Virginia Mothman, Sasquatch. There's all sorts. There's all sorts, and then you have what is it? What are they called? They're like Slender Man's obviously not.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
that's
yeah,
a recent urban legend, but it's based off of something else, like Dark Men or something like that,
yeah.
out in the Midwest and stuff like that.
Yeah, the
But
paranormal is it's definitely I feel like it's an expansive and forever changing and evolving field, especially because of the technology that is slowly developing, and, it's really cool.
well, what I think is, I think most interesting, um, is as I mean, we look back to when we were kids, right? Like, you remember the old math classes, right? Like, you're never gonna carry a calculator in your pocket. And now we have a calculator, we have a typewriter, a camera, a camcorder, and so I'm just really, and you see this with UFOs a lot more too. Like a lot more people capturing things, a lot more people having access to very quick, very accessible recording methods and things like that. I'm really interested what like the next 10, 15 years is really going to look like, especially when we start moving into that phase of technology where we're becoming more and more subtle and it's less and less noticeable, right? Like so things like Sasquatch and cryptids and other things like that are paying attention to us as we're trying to find them.
Mhm.
Us walking around with something in our hand is a little bit obvious. Whereas, we move over towards like the glasses and the GoPros and the things that are more hands free and less obvious. I'm curious what we're actually going to find.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, that's super interesting to me. Um, Yeah, my brain's still going on how we would do an underwater thing.
I feel
Uh,
like I actually seen it once. I think it I can't remember the name of the show, but I think they were maybe in Aruba or something, and they were near a ship, and they did something, and they got some EVPs. But I was just talking local. I haven't heard anything about something local being like that.
but I would imagine EVPs have got to be very difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I mean, totally with all the weird sounds that come from underwater and even just, like,
yeah,
the animals and whales and stuff.
110%.
And it's not
However,
excitable.
I'm also thinking that I think it would be kind of fun to maybe one of these weeks we do a pre-recorded show of us going out with Richie and Wojo. I think that
Yeah,
that would be super fun. Hit up the Bridgewater Triangle. Maybe we could do like a little pre-recorded joint session with those guys.
that'd be
Since they are only 20 minutes on a bad day from my front door. It'd be nice to hang out with some other folks that are here local. Um, yeah, I mean, it's we got a little group called Adventure Time that we got going on over at Warner. Um, oh, Damien, we're in Massachusetts, man. Saltwater doesn't mean shit here. Some of the nastiest sharks that we have will go right upstream into fresh water and don't give a damn about it.
yeah,
Um,
there's great whites here too. I've never seen one with my own eyes, but there's a lot.
I've seen 3 or 4 over the
Really?
years. Yeah, once on a boat, it was about 20 feet off the boat side of the boat.
Cool.
And then when we first started noticing great whites, probably about, I don't know, 30 years ago,
Mhm.
35 years ago. I mean, Jaws really made people pay attention a lot more. Um, but yeah, no, they're off the coast of Marshfield and on the Cape pretty frequently.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, no, we got some gnarly sharks, Damien, that will move from freshwater to saltwater, and they do not care. Uh, all right, okay, all right. So Wojo's saying that the night investigations have crazy energy. Yeah, I'm down for it, Julie. If you're down for it.
Yeah.
Doing a night investigation. Maybe we'll pick a day you didn't have to work all morning. You weren't at work at 4 a.m.,
So
5 a.m.
tomorrow too.
Oh, that is absolutely brutal.
It's only
Um,
a week though.
what's that?
It's only 3 days a week.
Ugh, still though,
Yeah,
I was up and out at 5:30 this morning, so I'm with you.
there you go.
I had to hit the road. I had to go to Burlington today, which is, for those of you who don't know, is like an hour without traffic. It's Massachusetts though, so it's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours with traffic. Um, but no, it's overall a good day. Um, I'm kind of winding down, Julie. I don't know about you, but I could use an extra 20 minutes of shut eye tonight. And
Yeah.
I think my big takeaway here is we gotta grab Wojo and Richie, and we got to do something and do a little collab here, because I mean it is befitting that we have the woods in our background every day. Let me see. Ian looks happy this week, more fresh from last week. Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, Damien, last week I was straight up out of gas. I had nothing left. I mean, before we came on live last week, I was telling Julie, I'm like, I'm cranky, I'm tired, I'm like rebounding from being pissy the week before, like,
Well,
and so
yeah, we were in Vermont last week, weren't we?
yeah, 2 weeks ago, that was 2 weekends ago.
No, it wasn't. It was last this past weekend, the weekend before that we were there.
Yeah, 2 weekends ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're
Yeah,
right.
so this past weekend we were in Rhode Island. The weekend before we were at
Yeah.
Hard Stuff. And leading into Hard Stuff, I was just cranky. I was just not vibing right. And so, Damien, the reason why I look happier this week is if you look at the title of today's show, I'm committing to myself to a no negativity November. I'm gonna try and be as positive as possible.
Yay!
Uh, Although admittedly at work today, I did may have said someone that if they're going to choose to die, they need to do it next week because I have shit to get done. But
Start over again tomorrow.
yeah, every day is a new day on the journey, and
Yeah.
as long as we're taking that first step, we're good. No, Damien, unfortunately, I have been watching. I have been watching the chakras with
Third
Julie.
eye right now.
I
Open
am
it up.
not doing it yet, although I am more than confident Julie is going to get me to do it at some point, probably relatively soon. Um, no, I am getting myself sorted out. I'm getting myself back into a new place. I'm in a moment of turmoil and a moment of change, and that those times to me are the moments to sit with myself and not really push into much new, just so that I can kind of refocus for me and make sure that I'm still me at my center. And sometimes I get angry when I do that too. Like sometimes I get really frustrated because the me at my center isn't always the me that I want it to be. And so yeah, and we pulled tarot. That was super cool. The
Those
tarot
actually
experience,
weren't tarot cards. Those were
oracle cards.
yeah, or oracle cards. They
What
were
exactly?
I like to bring cards everywhere I go to do a little pull, like either, like what do we need to know here? And then like you can ask questions if we have more time. I got this really cool deck called the Ceremonial Magic Tarot. These ones are cool. I'll bring these ones next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if for those of us that are more layman and a little bit more ignorant on that stuff, what is the principal difference between oracle cards and tarot cards? Like
Oh,
what
yeah,
is
yeah. So tarot
because
cards.
the images were pretty much the same though, weren't they? Like
Oh, no.
no? Okay.
So tarot cards they have their own system. There's 78 cards to a deck. There's the major arcana, the minor arcana, there's suits, there's, they have their core symbolism. So the regular deck is the basic is the Rider Waite, but if you change different tarot decks, they still have the basic kind of like meaning behind the card usually. They can vary, but then the oracle cards can go way out to left field. They can be anything. You can have 10 oracle cards in the deck. You can have 50 oracle cards in the deck. They can be very light and loving, or they can be like, I have these ones here. These are all astrology cards. So they're like totally different. They're like really cool. And they have more to do with astrology symbolism and stuff like that.
Okay.
Um, and then, they have, so the ones we had were like, I don't think I have them with me right now, but they were like more old timey like fortune teller cards. Or like that's the basics of their underlying vibe. They were really cool. I like them kind of medieval, but generally oracle cards are a little lighter. Like they're not like they're like, "Yo, happier." I feel like not all decks, but
Okay.
the tarot is more like, "Here it is. This is what it is. And this is how it is." It's more like,
More authoritative.
yeah, and there's just so much symbolism consciously, unconsciously, this historical, just there's so much information and you can keep, but honestly, tarot, oracle, it's all just a tool for tapping into your own intuition, your own ability within. So they're just a divination tool that helps. And I love art. I'm an artist, so I love pictures and whatnot better than the tarot. There's so much information about it too. You can go with a major arcana. You can do like the archetypal journey, which I teach in my basic 101 class because it's just so much fun.
Well, do you use them on location when investigating and pull them for spirits?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I should do that. I usually just say, what do spirits want me to know? So that's a
Yeah.
good idea. I should be like, oh, what do the spirits want to say right now? What do they want to say? It's judgment. We're all going to be there one day, baby. We're all going to be there.
The card you just pulled was Judgment?
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right.
Yeah, but that's cool. I'm gonna do that. And I'm probably, I don't know, it depends on the crowd. Like, and then I have these other cards. These are oracle cards, but these are just like happy affirmations. Like, I'll pull one for the show. You ready? Here we go. This is
We'll do Wojo for
an
sure.
affirmation for the show. You ready? Here it is. My dog's coming in too. I trust that my gut reaction is the truth underneath the surface of my fears. That's interesting. I don't know what that means, but that's what it says.
You want to do a reading before we take off?
No.
No, you don't. Well,
No,
you
I
usually recharge. You always tell me that they those recharge you and they like
no,
reinvigorate
yeah,
you. So
I definitely next time for sure. I'm out of gas myself. Like I don't if
all
I'll start
right,
saying crazy things and it won't make any sense.
that's fair.
But
Well,
but next time I'll do 100%. I love it. We'll do a reading for sure.
all right, sounds good. Well, we are going to sign off as well. With Wojo leaving, there's really no reason to stay on, right? Uh,
Well, there's Damien. Yeah.
Damien is an absolute champ. I mean, he rides with so many shows, and I give him so much credit. He's such an awesome guest to have on the side.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Um, but I am beat. Not in the like negative way before.
You're
I
just
just
sleepy,
I'm
tired.
just sleepy. I'm just sleepy. I've had a hell of a couple of weeks, and we got some more weeks ahead of us. Luckily, we're kind of in the down season, but we're in the planning phases for 2025, which is nice. And I'm really excited to see what we do. All right. So
Rock
with
on.
that, good night, everybody.
Peace out.
Stay blessed. We are off. I
Oh,
think. I think we're off.